How Bizarre is intended for mature, open-minded audiences only. If you are easily offended, we suggest you turn this wacky shit straight off.
Oh, God, I got a stitch in my side. I'm too dehydrated.
Too drunk?
I'm not drunk enough, but
Yeah, me either.
it is so fucking hot here, and I did a little bit of work outside. Christina, who lives downstairs, was out doing some serious yard work. I was like, yeah, get it, girl. I'm going to come out there and help you because it was way overdue. She was out there like all day the last couple of days. She's just been kicking ass. Got a wild hair, as they say, and been out there taking this. I live on half an acre, and I know that doesn't sound like a lot of property, but unless you have property that's that big next to an orchard and you don't necessarily have all the time in the world to keep up on a yard, you get about 40 trees growing, and you just got to keep on cutting them down, and that's mostly what was going on. But I swear to God, I was out there for like 15 minutes, and it just destroyed me.
I was looking up a thing because we were talking about like people who walk their dogs on the concrete without realizing it's too hot, you know?
That angers me deeply.
And so then we were talking about like, I don't know, the subject came up of Phoenix because that's been one of the places that's been like super hot lately.
Yeah.
And so I just looked it up on my little weather app on my iPhone, and they're supposed to be 117 today and 118 the next 2 days. And at 11 p.m., it's still supposed to be like 101 degrees.
Yeah.
Woof.
I have got quite a few friends that live down there, and they've been posting it. Melanie Stair, who's been on the program, been listening since pretty much day one. She lives down there now, and she's been posting. I'm just like, Jesus Christ, man. Whew. They talk about the dry versus humidity, and there's something to that, but 117 is 117. There ain't no there ain't no debate about them shits. Now, we're supposed to get, last year we had record-setting temperatures here at around that, and up here that is fucking bananas. And we're supposed to get, we had 1 or 2 of those days last year. This year we're supposed to get a full week. How can they know? Maybe they can't. Hopefully they can't, and they're dead wrong. We shall see. Well, greetings. Is Lyle with us?
He's here, but not speaking. I believe he's probably getting set up or finishing, rubbing one out, whatever he's got to do.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, I have almost absolutely nothing, but I do have something. And then it sounds like Chris has a game. I was actually going to try to throw together a game for today, but I have found myself in a crazy fucking week. A good crazy, but just a lot going on. And so I didn't even have the time to put together a game. But I'm glad. Is this going to be a round of elimination you got planned for us?
Yeah, a little ranker list, but I'm quite good. I think it's a good one.
I say it all the time. I straight up stole that bit from you because it's a great way to fill a show when I can't come up with any content. But I miss playing because I've been giving those games quite a bit. So I'm excited to try to play. And you teased at least about a little bit about the topic. We'll talk about that down the road here. And that is in place of Weird Triv, yes?
Correct. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so it's going to be a bit of a ramble cast. We can go wherever you guys want to go. I do have a couple things. I'm trying to pull something up real quick. So throw out anything that's been on y'all's mind while I'm doing that.
I'll tell you guys a little story if you got a minute here.
I think we got 90.
It starts a little sad, but turns around.
Okay.
When I was a kid, my parents were not great. Everyone has like troubled childhood stories for sure, but my dad and my mom used me kind of as a pawn. They divorced when I was 2, so lots of fighting and lots of, well, you can't have him for this or that, blah blah blah, and it was rough. So I just have a real distinct memory of being 10 years old, and I was going to Disneyland with my mom and her husband and my sisters, and the night before we were going to go to Disneyland, my dad gets in a huge fight with my mom, and he says, you can't take him to Disneyland. And so I had to go back to my dad's, and I didn't get to go to fucking Disneyland. And it was always rough for me.
That's like a movie. A movie disappointment. That's the kind of disappointment a little kid would experience in a Hollywood film.
That's fucked up, man.
Yeah. So I had this kind of chip on my shoulder about Disneyland.
Of course.
Never been. I never went. Never fucking had an interest in going as an adult. Then I had my kid, and your life kind of changes. And guess where I'm fucking going in 10 days, motherfuckers.
Woo, I'm going to Disneyland.
Woo! I am. I'm pretty excited about it. It's the first grown-up vacation I think I've planned in a long time. And I mean, it's not grown-up's probably the wrong word for it, but like I booked all the proper accommodations and fucking the tickets and events at Disneyland.
That's the grown-up stuff.
Been watching nothing but like YouTube videos. I'm going with Bats. We're doing a joint family trip, so it's gonna be great.
That's awesome.
And yeah, man, I booked reservations to build lightsabers for me and Logan. Yeah, they have this like Star Wars land in there, and for $250 American, you can go into a little room, and Yoda and the instructor, helps you hand build a lightsaber piece by piece that lights up and stuff. And I'm really excited about it. It's gonna be fun. But yeah, man. So
it's great for so many reasons.
Yeah, so it should be great. Pretty stoked about it.
It is expensive. It's insanely expensive, but the memories that you are going to make, let alone your kid, and the family, you and Bats are a family. It's a nice modern family situation that you have figured out with each other. The memories that you're going to have in those experiences are going to be way more valuable than the money that's going to be spent. It is expensive, but Disneyland is a different thing. I know a lot of people. Only people that have never gone to Disneyland will say, it's just a big theme park. Technically, yeah. But experience-wise, there's nothing else theme park-wise that I have ever come close to experiencing with Disneyland. Now, when I went, they were just the Land of Tomorrow, I think is or Futureland, or whatever they called it, Spaceland. That was sort of in transit. The Star Wars land that didn't exist. So that's fairly new. And
around COVID time, I think.
So I'm pretty excited to hear about all that. Of course, I've seen some pictures, but I will still occasionally, there are these, now there are live streamers on TikTok. They'll just buy a ticket to Disneyland. They'll ride all the rides. They'll stream, they'll live stream the entire Disneyland experience.
Honestly, I've done a lot of YouTube videos of people just wearing GoPros. Because I'm like, I have no idea what to expect. And I always get a little nervous when I'm taking the kid out somewhere that I just have no fucking bearings. Like, I just don't know. Yeah. It's a bit more stressful. So, but it's been cool, man. They have like an Avengers campus, and the kid loves Marvel. So we were watching the Spider-Man. It was funny. They have like, how they have people come out in costume and shit. We're watching one of them, and Doctor Strange comes out. And Logan's like, Daddy, it's Doctor Strange. And I was like, I know, man, I know. And he's like doing all those little tricks, open up portals. And he turns to the camera, and it's an actor dressed as Doctor Strange. It's pretty good, but it doesn't look like Doctor Strange.
Right.
And he goes, Daddy, what's wrong with this face?
Doctor is strange. It's Doctor Stranger. Never talk to Doctor Stranger.
Doctor Stranger.
What I tell you about Doctor... I wish I could be there with you because it's hard to know who's going to have the biggest, dumbest grin on their face, you or Logie.
I know. I thought about doing this like set of photos where it's just me smiling around at everything and Logan like in the background or cut off. He like in half the photo. Me under the fucking Millennium Falcon, just looking elated, and him just like crying right next to me.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
It's gonna be great.
It is like that though, because it is not just for kids. I promise you that Disneyland is magical for all.
Well, now there's a nice handful of places you can get booze at Disneyland too.
Oh yeah.
Bridget loves the we watch a lot of videos about food at theme parks. For some reason, we found a channel that's just mesmerizing. So we've been watching a lot about that. There's a lot of great food at Disneyland, like crazy, fun, amazing food.
Oh,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I've talked about it before on the show. Blue Bayou is a restaurant that it's not super fancy. It's it's like upper scale comfort food. What I got there was I think it was a spare ribs thing, but it wasn't like spare ribs. It wasn't like eating at a barbecue joint. It was like filet mignon. It was like every piece was just covered in this beautiful like wine gravy. and it was so fucking good. But the most magical part of that experience is, as you may remember, you sit out on a dock and you hear crickets chirping and you see these little boats floating by. Well, those boats are the riders going into the Pirates of the Caribbean ride.
Oh, that's cool.
And so they actually
That's
see
nice.
you when you're out there on the. It's a special experience. There are a few examples of that kind of thing.
This has been one of my favorite parts about planning this trip and having so much time is everyone's got a fucking Disneyland story or like a tip or a trick or a don't miss this or do this or don't do this. That I took Logan to one of his classmates' party the other day, and he was just playing and having fun. And I sat and talked with one of the kids' grandmas for like an hour and a half about Disneyland. And she goes every year, and she had every little pointer to give me. It was awesome. I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Speaking of, if you're listening to this, please drop a little line on the link on our Facebook page and let me know what I should do when I'm there. If you've been or have a pro tip for me, I'm all ears.
I wish I had more pro tips, but you're definitely not going to experience the entire park.
Well, we're there for 4 days.
Well, still,
I think we will. I'm sure there's shit we'll never
are you
see,
doing?
but
Are you gonna hop over? Are you doing the California Adventure stuff?
we're doing back and forth. So we're doing
That's a lot.
Disneyland, California Adventure.
The only tip.
You see, I just can't imagine how big it is.
Yeah, you
be.
can't. It's a city. It's a small
Yeah.
city. But I mean, there's a train that takes you all over the place. But that was my next tip. If someone hasn't already told you,
What?
take the train around the entire park, because there are little special things that are hidden in the caves and the tunnels. And even if you're not interested in hitching a ride to the other end of the park, just do it. Hop on the train and it's a nice way to cool off and relax and experience the whole park, get your bearings. In fact, I would do that fairly early on. It's a great way to experience it. And nobody was on the train when we were on it. It was, except, it makes little stops. It's like an actual train. It's like for people that, well, now boarding to it was Toontown back then. I think they've changed it. And it goes, there's all these little lands. It's like mini cities within this bigger city. But I highly recommend just sitting on the train, get yourself a good window seat, and just enjoy that ride at least once all the way through. That was one of my favorite things. And I think you'll see why when you do it.
This really reminds me of the first time I went to LA. I asked you this. I was like, I've never been to LA. What would you do? And you were telling me stories, and you're like, honestly, go do the stupid tour of the stars thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, I don't
want to be that guy.
It was so great. What'd you say?
He's like, no one wants to be that guy, but
I got to see the whole city, fun. Like something I wouldn't have got to see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's not just here's where Ozzy Osbourne lives, or here's where blah blah. The tour guides that are good at their job will give you all sorts of little tidbits and like places where people were murdered, and it's fascinating. And it is crazy that how big that fucking city is, because those tours will cover like one area and maybe whatever is on the way. Like you probably hop on board somewhere down at Hollywood and Highland and then head up to Beverly Hills or the Hollywood Hills or Holmby Hills. You go by the Playboy Mansion. That's a totally different tour than something down the lower level of Beverly Hills and then going down on Sunset Boulevard, and they'll tell you here's where Motley Crue played their first show, and here's where River Phoenix died. It's fucking fascinating. Yeah, I was so glad, because the first time I went down there was with my friend Jody, not my first wife, Chris, but my friend Jody. And we were both
I wasn't going to bring it up, Ron. I know it's
I don't remember if he was feeling weird about it, but I was like, let's just get one of these fucking things. Or like back then it was like $10. Let's hop in this van and let's just go for a ride. It was our favorite part of the entire trip. It was amazing. That and going to buy binoculars at a liquor store next to our hotel, because our hotel looked out over other, not hotels, but apartment buildings, like these
just fucking
fucking apartment buildings, high rises, and then right up above that were what were back then probably $2-3 million homes, and like your Kathy Griffins and your your Carrot Tops, and then a little bit higher on the hill you could literally see Steven Spielberg's house up on the very top of the hill from where we were at, and we're like, we gotta go get fucking binoculars. And we saw some interesting things at the, we thought we saw a porn shoot being filmed, a couple porn shoots being filmed, but we were mostly fascinated with the sadness of the dingy high-rise that was right in front of us on the ground level, and just like people sitting in their tiny little apartments and looking so miserable and sad. We couldn't stop looking at it. It's very strange. But anyway, yeah, I'm excited to hear back. When are you, is this next week or is this in August?
It's in August 31st. July 31st we fly out. We come back August 4th. So I got one more I don't know, I think next week might be Comet Week if my math might be wrong, but
I'm rocking and rolling on Comet right now. So this will probably be the last one we do until August.
For a couple weeks. Okay. Word. God, did you see the Seahawks throwback uniforms today?
No. Is there football stuff? God. I'm so out of the loop of everything.
So they've been teasing this. There was a really great era, the Dave Craig era of the Seahawks. It was before my time for football, but they did those beautiful jerseys, like that color scheme. They did the throwback of those, and they're going to play with them in at least one game this season, and they put them all up online for sale. But the promo video that they did was just freaking amazing.
It's perfect. I love it.
Are you pulling it up? You should Google it. It's fucking great. And they made a whole website for it. And it's like when you enter the website, it looks like the AOL dial-up screen starts, and you have to sit through the dial-up process, and all the icons are like the Kingdom and stuff.
Oh, that's amazing.
And then you get through, and it's like a completely early 90s website. It's so good. There was so much thought put into it. It was amazing.
That kind of, but doesn't totally fit into the one little thing that I'm bringing tonight. But before we move on to that, what was the reason for this? Just a fun thing to do?
Some of the league teams have been doing like throwback uniforms, like uniforms of yesteryear, and it's a good way to sell jerseys. They make a lot of money off it, but the fans fucking love it. They eat it up. Like, we were so excited to hear this. So, I like the Seahawks jerseys now. I think they're modern and cool. I don't like the ones that were before that. They were the ones that I think Reebok did. We had those for 5-7 years. I don't know.
Like Hasselbeck era.
Yes, and then the ones before that were like the Dave Craig era ones, and that's what these ones are. They look like. So they look fucking cool, and I can't wait to see them. But yeah, I spent a little money today on the fucking Seahawks website for sure.
Yeah. Well, this says 90s. I can't remember when Dave Craig retired. Do you know?
I don't know either. That was before my football knowledge before 2005 is not great.
I guess he could have been playing then. Let me look it up. Because he was, early 80s to mid 80s, definitely was Dave Craig era. And then I lost track. Seahawks QB. There's one name definitely between Dave Craig and Hasselbeck that I'm spacing, a quarterback that I knew. Oh, I bet it was the Boz era. Bosworth was late 80s. Let's see, 1990 roster for Seahawks. Let's just see what that gives us. Chuck Knox was still coaching. Old Chucky, baby. Let's see, this is probably not very interesting. Oh, yeah, Dave Craig still quarterbacking, and looks like Largent was gone by then.
Yeah, Largent. Oh.
Jacob Green, Joe Nash, Jeff Bryant. These are familiar names. Classic Seahawks stuff. Yeah, I don't remember how well they're doing in the 90s, but I was on to other things, mostly drugs and women, but and skipping class to become a rock star. But what I do have to bring, and I don't know, it's entirely possible that this has come up before on the show. It seems like it would have, so forgive me if it has, and I just drank it away. But are you guys familiar? If you are, don't spoil it. But are you guys familiar with the KFC Twitter scenario?
No.
So KFC only they have close to 2 million followers, but they only follow 11 accounts, and those include 3 women, Victoria Beckham, Mel B, and Jerry Holloway, and 6 men, a musician, a journalist, a Green Bay Packers player, a university football coach, and the LA City Council president. Can you guess what the gag is there?
11 secret spices or something like that.
It's 11 herbs and spices. So obviously the 3 women are the Spice Girls, 3 of the Spice Girls. The other 6 men is a little more tricky, but you can figure it out because of the first part of the equation, but they're all named Herb. I don't know who told me that recently, but I thought, that's fucking funny. And I wonder how long they had done that before anyone caught on. But then somewhere around that same time, I saw a post that one of my friends made on Facebook. Like, I can't remember what she said. It was a funny post. It was like, my relationships these days are almost as nonsensical and absurd as Wendy's Facebook posts. Now, have you guys gone to Wendy's Facebook page?
I have not.
Like, how fucking
I've seen some screenshots, though. Fucking
weird could Wendy's Facebook page. Well, I'm just going to go right to it. This is not a compilation of the weirdest shit. This is just... Now, most of these posts are in all caps. Not all of them. But here's the one that they posted yesterday. Can anyone help connecting my internet to the apps? I need to speak with someone about my apps. The next post is a picture of a crack in the concrete. Ran over a curb. Bob is okay.
This sounds like my grandpa that was unwell.
That's exactly what I told Sarah. Like, this sounds like an old man that doesn't know technology, or that the things he's saying is actually posting somewhere or being recorded. The next post, 10-piece be with you. Then it moves on to looking for sewing thread. This new website is horribly misspelled. This new website is awful, though.
These aren't even funny. They're just weird.
That's the thing. No one can figure out what the fuck any of this is. Then the next one is rest in pieces to purple milkshake victims. Sorry for lose. Couldn't be me.
I mean, that must be in reference to the Grimace shake phenomenon.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. Moving forward, are the life insurance pamphlets in the upstairs drawer? No punctuation. Next post. I would like an administrator to contact me regarding the false post that was approved in mention of Bob's Big Boy, Tires and Barn. Then we get one that says, Bob got a sausage, egg, and cheese engraved on my medical alert bracelet. It only takes one, ladies.
What even? Okay.
Here's one. Remember Rolodexes? That's a normal post. That's actually that's something that I might post. Remember Rolodexes? You guys remember Rolodexes, right?
Yeah.
You remember how much time?
If you had at the bar for cocktails.
That's a brilliant way to use a Rolodex in the modern world. But if you were in the clerical field or any office job really where you had to keep a lot of contacts, that was the original address book. The contacts in your phone, of course, was in a Rolodex. And it took so fucking long to collect it. And I remember a time, even in my stupid little job in the Wenatchee world, people were like braggadocious about how some of their Rolodex cards go way back to the 80s and they had to tape them back together. Here's another post from Wendy's. Bob, do you, again, horribly misspelled, all of it. Bob, do you have any more checks? I got a hankering for a strawberry frosty. And then a picture of a doll. This was my mother's from the war. She traded it for chili.
Okay, that's funny.
And then here's one of I guess it's some sort of Facebook market listing. $40 war to Pip's funeral. Recommend washing. And it's just like a hanger. And it says, Deb, how many breakfast potatoes for the hearing? Do you want ketchup? And the last one I'll read is we're not ending on anything. None of this is like meaningful. But this one says, I'm at the airport. What size chili do you want? They have regular.
Like, okay, there's a lot to unpack there. First off, what size chili do you want? And then they just tell you the only size available. So you don't.
Yeah. Here's some recipe for some random shit, and it says Nana Wendell's recipe for family summer, perfect for Mother's Day if y'all are speepking, whatever speepking means. This is one of the biggest fast food franchises in America, maybe the world. Oh, one more. Barb, are you home? My nephew is dating a palm reader. Is that a job or a condition? Anyway, if you want to get lost down a very stupid rabbit hole,
I like this one. This one's really good. So the picture is like of a screenshot. It says it's from Wendy's account, right? And it says, "Hey, check this out. I didn't believe in cryptocurrency until now. I got into contact with an expert trader." And it says, "See more." And the post says, "I have been hacked. This post is against the law." With a bunch of angry faces. "My nephew Jargon said it was because my password was just my name, but how else was I supposed to remember? Changed it to Bob's name. Blessings, heart, heart, heart."
Like, who the fuck pitched this, and who the fuck approved it?
Is this some like one of the owners or one of the shareholder, like the majority shareholders that just is doing whatever the fuck they want, or did they hire a fucking marketing team to?
I think they hired somebody.
Yeah,
like wow,
it's.
I don't know if it's genius or stupid. I can't.
It's both.
Well, I'll tell you this. I'll look at the posts. 20,000 likes, thousands of shares, 58,000 likes, 225,000 likes, 2,000 likes, 100,000 likes. Whatever. I mean, yeah. I get that it's probably some marketing firm that's like, you know what? Let's go fucking rogue here. But what a fascinating thing to come up with, and what a fun job. It's like, well, what bullshit can we literally not lose with on today's post? But anywho, yeah, feel free to follow that. They post quite regularly, and it's just, as far as I'm scrolling, what is a star sign? Ammed, not and, but ammed. How do I get rid of it? Yeah, Wendy's. Everybody. Well, there you have. Lyle, you with us yet?
I don't think he is. I sent a text. I think he might
Why did
be
he always
sleeping.
have so much? Well, I thought he logged on.
He's in the room. He was in the room before I was.
I don't see him.
Oh, he
shows
hasn't
him in the room.
texted, has he?
No. Let me see if it shows him as in the room.
You know, if any of you don't show up, I'm like, what's going on? But when Lyle doesn't show up, it's especially alarming.
Mm-hmm.
Check in with that, bro. But yeah, so far, when this has happened, he's just asleep. He has a rough schedule. Getting up at 4 a.m. to go do fucking dialysis.
Well, the game will be fine with 2, but if you know anyone that would want to hop on and play, probably
I could figure. I'll be thinking about that. I had one more thing I wanted to share from last time, but it's not coming to me. You guys seen any interesting stories? We still haven't seen, as far as I can tell, anything from that woman that freaked out on the plane. I was like,
yeah.
I'm not going conspiracy theory here.
Oh,
but I'd sure like to hear from her.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be nice. It'd be nice to know that. I'd just like to hear what it was, what happened. Mm-hmm. I do have a fucking great video for y'all. I saved here.
Is it the one you shared with us?
No.
We should play that one too.
Which one? Which one? I can't remember.
The fucking Evanescence.
Oh, that was so funny. Oh my god.
So good. We can play that, I'm sure.
Yeah, play it.
I don't think it'll be a copyright.
I'll
pull that up while you pull them. You got it.
I saw this video. It's another Twitter video. I apologize, but I'm on Twitter a lot more lately. But this fucking video is amazing. It starts off, they're at an aquarium or zoo of sorts, and you see a woman. I'm just going to set the scene, and then I'm going to let Ron, if you don't mind, I want you to narrate what happens in the video, because it's fucking crazy to me.
Okay.
We're at some kind of zoo. It's a woman near a alligator enclosement, and she's trying to do something, get the alligator's attention or something, and then I'm just going to let you narrate.
All right, where's this come? Oh, got it.
Tell me when you're playing.
I am.
And let the volume go.
Now. Kids are up against the glass, as they do, and an alligator is now taking the hand of its... Oh, it's pulling the entire trainer in. We got trouble here, yeah. Ooh, holy shit. It's rolling her with her arm in his mouth. Okay, she got it out. No, she hasn't gotten it out.
This guy's a fucking hero.
Dude jumps in and starts... Oh, someone's cried for their mommy. Yeah, sorry, kid, you're scarred now.
Yeah.
She is remaining very calm for what's happening. And the dude
Yes.
is...
She's giving him instructions, too.
I can't tell what's going on. Another dude is trying to reach around here. Looks like everyone's mellowing here with the woman's arm still firmly in the jaws of this thing, like up to halfway up its arm. She's actually just like chilling on her other arm, like using it for a pillow.
I think if she
might be in
fought back,
shock.
it'd fight harder. Like,
Yeah, she's trained. She knows what she's doing, but
and she's telling him instructions.
okay, so probably not shocked then. Okay, let's listen a little bit.
He's like, what do I need to do?
Yeah. Well, there goes the gator. Is it a crocodile? What is it?
Looks like a croc of some
Okay.
sort of caiman.
She got free, and that dude is still keeping the croc on him. Now, how's
What
he
an
getting out?
awful feeling, right?
Oh, now he's riding it with his fucking kicking around. Jesus Christ.
Yes. No good deed.
He's like, oh, I had to be the hero. I need you to sit up. She's still calm. Oh my God. His hand is in its jaws. This is the best rodeo I've ever seen.
It's incredible, right?
He's still on him. Oh, there he goes.
Get off,
And now
motherfucker.
he's on.
Run.
Off.
Isn't that an incredible video?
Damn. Is she okay? Arm-wise?
Yeah, she
Nerve-wise?
seemed to be fine. I don't have no information on, but she was on the side like coaching him to how to get off and
Yeah,
stuff. Even
with her arm
yeah,
halfway up the femur.
Oh
Wasn't
my
all the way
God.
up to the elbow, but the hand was halfway down that fucking thing's throat. Her mouth, anyway. That's an interesting thought, though. The dude, once she was free, he's like, well, I got a series of decisions to make here.
Yeah.
I have to get off. Which way do I jump? What do I protect? Ultimately, when he just decided to run, as I guess I would have done, fortunately, the gator or whatever this fucking thing is, just kind of chilled. It didn't chase after him.
I turned around, yeah.
This isn't a huge beast, but it's as long as these beasts, longer than the people.
It's like easily 6 feet long.
The way it was whipping them around, I mean, it looked like a rodeo. Like it looked like it could have bucked him off if it really wanted to. It's a powerful beast. Jesus Christ. Mommy! Those poor fucking kids, man. They're gonna need some sort of crocodile-related therapy. All right, well, let's play this video that Chris sent the group earlier today.
Yeah.
What is this? Do we know what
It's
this
some
instrument
toy
is?
that I don't know what it's called, but it can describe. I don't know what it is. I've seen it in
It
videos.
almost looks like a saxophone, but you don't blow into it, and there are no keys. There's like a slider board, almost like an electric theremin. And then there's something like a head that looks sort of like a Kirby
Like a
or some
Pac-Man.
sort of Pac-Man thing.
Yeah.
And you squeeze it to make like it's kind of like a wah-wah pedal, like the mouth actually decides the wah versus the wah. But then he's sliding the fingers on the board. It's so hard to describe, and yet I described it perfectly. You got to see the video, and it makes it better anyway, because at some point there are harmonizing versions of these instruments, and then they hop into the screen in the video. But I'm just gonna let this play. You're gonna know what it is right away.
With its little mouth moving, it's quite
Fucking
funny.
visual.
That's bizarre as hell.
Did you watch this, John Mark?
Yeah, I was just watching it.
I'll let it play until the harmony, or is that the chorus at least? Here we go.
And it really has to be seen to be believed.
Yeah, I'm sure it sounds crazy, but it's so much funnier when you see it. So there that is.
I will make sure to post these links to our Facebook thing. I know I don't do that very often. I will make sure. I promise I'll do that for this post. So if you're not following our Facebook, get on that shit. I want to see more interaction with our few hundred people that are constantly downloading us. Can't work, bro.
Don't you want one of those instruments? I want to know what it's like to play one. No?
I think it'd be. I'm sorry, I'm trying to juggling a child.
That's it.
Yeah, I would love to see you play one. Honestly, it's like a theremin, saxophone, harmonica. I don't know.
It's very, very strange. We should look into the history of that there instrument. So still no Lyle, huh? He must be sleeping. Well, let's see. John Mark, you got anything you've seen that you want to chat about while I message a couple people about joining us? Make something up.
No.
Damn it.
Oh gosh. Let's see. What's been good lately? Oh, I got something I can talk about. I got really high the other night and watched Clerks 3 finally.
Oh.
And y'all know I'm a big Kevin Smith guy.
Yeah.
No secret. Gotta say though, the last couple movies he's done, even in like the universe that I really like, I've just not been into. I thought Clerks 3 was fine. Did either of you watch it?
No,
I haven't yet.
I keep forgetting about it.
It's. Can I tell you the first 5 minutes? Would it bother you? I mean, I think it's what you'd see in the trailer.
Yeah, this is a absolutely unplanned, whatever it is, show.
Yeah.
Go where you want.
Well, y'all know Kevin Smith had a heart attack. 5 years ago? 6. I think.
Yeah.
And
Almost dead.
The whole story is crafted by that. So in the first 5 minutes, Randall has a heart attack, and he wakes up in the hospital. He's like, "I need to make a movie. That's what I should be doing with my life, basically." And the whole story is him making Clerks.
The original.
Yeah, and so it's it's clever and fun that way. I need to rewatch it, but I laughed a few times, but I mostly was just like, "Woo, they're really." The story it just felt reachy. Like I was like, "This is."
I don't know how it couldn't be at this point. Honestly,
the
View Askew universe.
But for me, it's like
pretty
it's
deeply.
like just have these guys be doing their normal lives.
Another story plot with the same setup. Sure.
Yeah, like that's what's funny. Like they are funny. They're day to day. I don't need this big crazy adventure.
I guess in his defense, he was probably trying to avoid what ultimately it sounds like it became anyway, which was digging back into the well. He was probably looking for a shtick. He quit smoking pot? Did he quit pot
20
altogether, or
now.
is he just not smoking pot?
No, he quit. He quit.
Sober?
I just listened to a podcast he does called Fat Man Beyond. It's really good. It's a show he does with a Hollywood writer named Mark Bernard, and he had like a bit of a mental breakdown. He went to a facility for several weeks and gave up pot. And during this podcast, he doesn't drink either. During this podcast I was listening to, they hosted at a Star Wars themed bar in Hollywood called Scum and Villainy. And he was like, their claim to fame is they have this drink called Blue Milk, which is really relevant to Star Wars. And Kevin's like, is that fucking vegan? Because he's vegan. And they're like, yeah. And he's like, give me one of those Blue Milks. And then he orders like 4 more. And I'm hearing like the drunk Kevin Smith for the first time.
Yeah.
And it was fucking hilarious.
Nice.
But anyways, he gave up pot. Sorry.
And it was because of the breakdown that he was associating that with.
Really? No. He said he just felt hazy. He wasn't receiving his life the way he wanted to, and he wanted to try something different. So he was smoking all day, every day.
A lot.
Yes.
See, a lot of people are.
Yeah.
And that's a different thing than the occasional let's get high and shoot the shit. It's just like someone waking up first thing in the morning and pouring a vodka, and They
Oh,
stop
I love to
drinking
wake
when
and
they
bake. I
fall.
can't lie to you. It's so great.
Well-
it doesn't feel anything like drinking though.
Well, I know it's not the same thing, but it's that versus casual drinking.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
And,
Yeah.
And
It
people
affects your
are
chemistry differently. Like it just changes your chemistry completely. So it's
this
like
shit is so strong. I can't imagine smoking that shit or eating that shit or ingesting that shit all fucking day.
Yeah.
These people are fucking blasted. and I don't know. It's funny how people don't realize it, or they don't acknowledge like that. For whatever reason, pot just has this funny, oh, it's no big deal, and it's just always going to be, it's something that no one needs to worry about or think about. Everyone should do it, and it mellows you out. It's like, that isn't so. It's not good for a lot of people, and a lot of people do get addicted to it. Maybe not in the same way that they get addicted to other drugs or other substances, but I have seen people get so fucked up on it that when they give it up, their life gets better. I mean, there are enough examples of that I think pot should be taken a little more seriously by.
I mean, it's like anything else, really. It's just like, moderation or whatever. Anything that you're doing like every day, all day long is going, you know what I mean? It's going to affect
but for
you.
whatever reason, pot has been given this by a lot of people. This sort of like, nah, it's never gonna hurt you. It's never gonna affect you in a negative way. I don't understand that. So it's good to see that. I think it's good to see that changing. I think it's good to see more people like Kevin Smith, like fucking, I mean, the modern Cheech and Chong, really, in terms of like pot culture celebrities. Who else do we got at this point? Seth Rogen, I suppose. There are a handful of people that are just like all pot all the time. They can't
Snoop
talk
Dogg.
to anybody.
Willie Nelson.
Yeah, they can't talk at all to anybody without pot coming up. And some of them will be just fine smoking their doobies. But I have a hard time believing that Willie Nelson is like eating some of these incredibly strong edibles all day long. He's probably still smoking some classic old school-esque. I'm sure it's not old school, but I just picture him like a couple of doobies here and there. And I could be wrong. What do I know? But the pot thing, I was shocked when I saw Kevin Smith gave it up, but you quit for a while, yeah, Chris? You were.
I did.
Was that just because you wanted to, or was there something?
No, I was having some panic attacks.
I thought that was the
was
case.
making it worse. It was just a really tough period of my life, so I was like, I'm gonna set this aside for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I gave up drinking for a month actually in July.
Yeah.
It's not, and booze is not my vice. Weed is for sure. But I was just finding myself drinking like every fucking night.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, I'm just going to take 30 full days off and see how that feels. And it wasn't very hard.
Yeah.
My biggest beef is like, I'm so bored of my water. I'm so bored of my beverages.
Yeah. Yeah. Bars are definitely not the same.
Yeah. Well, I found some good. Fortunately, my bar has some cool mocktails and stuff. So I was able to still feel like I was imbibing.
Well, were you smoking pot or partaking of pot during your sober month?
Yeah.
Yeah, that helps too.
That's crazy talk.
Yeah, that does help too. But when you're sitting around in a bar, you want to drink. So that's where the mocktails do come in. There are some fucking delicious non-alcoholic beers on the market now too. Back in the day, you had to do O'Doul's or and the O'Doul's Amber. I remember that was fairly tasty. The rest of the non-alcoholic stuff I tried from that era, was like, yeah, it's almost there, but there's just something off. But the newer ones that I've had, even the local place that I'm at every night, that I sampled some, was like, yeah, we're really fucking close.
I haven't really found any of those yet that actually I was like, okay, this is acceptable. There's always some weird
It's the
extra
aftertaste.
bittery thing to it where you're just like, nah, I don't know.
Have you had the O'Doul's Amber? Or I don't know if it's Amber. It's the dark bottle O'Doul's, not the lighter green one, whatever it is.
I might have at some point, but
I still think that's one of the best ones. But I did see that Heineken's now doing a non-alcoholic. If they got the skunkiness down, that might hit some notes.
Yeah, I was drinking those for a while. The 0.0s or whatever. They're all right.
Pretty good.
They're all right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's just going to be us. I've texted a few people. No one has responded. And by the time they did, we'll probably be halfway through the game. Chris had stepped away.
Oh, sorry. No, I was muted and speaking to nobody.
Oh, sorry.
My favorite. That is the haphazard of podcasting with the child. Because I'll constantly mute to be like, "Don't do that. Here's your chocolate milk.
Yeah.
Quiet you."
Yeah, that would get confusing.
Forget I'm muted.
I never touch anything except my booze and my pipe. I do want to say that I'm working on something special for y'all in the not too distant future. It is a quiz on what video game is this music from.
Oh, I love this.
This will be interesting because I obviously, as a classic gamer, that's where we're going to start. I don't know some of these other games, so I would never have gotten any of them right. But I did some research, and some of them are deep dives, and some of them are going to be pretty obvious. But I'm excited to see how you do. I think you all would do pretty well.
Let's take 30 seconds. I want to get a sheet of paper and a pen so I can keep proper score.
Do it. John Mark, did you come home to a relatively sane post-fourth scene?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad actually. There was obviously a few days of aftershocks, as it were, but they were pretty much few and far between, and it's mostly died down now. So I was expecting it to be kind of crazy on even like the 5th and 6th, but it honestly wasn't too bad. So that was appreciated. Yeah.
I think Chris meant to mute this time and left it on. It's funny. My dog has been doing this thing where maybe I talked about this already, but she's trying to get upstairs to me, I guess. And so she's just like climbing behind shit. She completely destroyed the room that goes from my dining room downstairs, where like the arcade and dartboard and all that stuff is, to my stairway leading upstairs. And she knocked over like all these shelves and cabinets and things of art up on the walls, and she was trapped. She could she barricaded herself in, shut all the doors, so she had to shit and piss in there all night. I have my white noise machine on and my headphones on, and fell asleep and didn't hear any of it.
Was that because of the fireworks?
Yeah. I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is next fucking level. So next year, I am definitely, New Year's, I guess I'll have to think about this. I'm definitely going to get some of that doggy Valium. I've heard any of the other, like, over-the-counter tricks and substances don't work, but I have heard good things. You got to get a prescription, just like any other thing. But I have heard good things about that. But she's definitely staying in the kennel. She ain't going to be free to go.
I just jumped in. What girlfriend are we talking about?
Her name's Ripley. She's been with me the longest out of the most recent.
Bug for actually, it's only been the last few days. Like he doesn't tend to freak out like our other dog did and like bark and get all crazy, but he just gets real quiet, and withdrawn. And there's like a little spot between where his bed is on the floor. There's like a spot between like an ottoman and like the end of our bed where it's like a little cozy, safe space for him. And he just has been like curling up down there. And he usually sleeps. He usually hangs out on top of the ottoman, kind of at our feet, like when we're on the couch,
Yeah.
But he's been kind of like wanting to be in his little zone. Up until the last few days, he just started getting back up on top of the ottoman again. So I think he was traumatized, but he didn't like show it in like a really obvious way. It was just like, I'm going to stay here and be safe. And you know what I mean?
Yeah. I got one more person to reach out to.
Okay.
She's
do it
right now. Starting to help me out with some comment stuff. She's going to be selling some ads for me and hopefully growing our distribution.
Nice.
Yeah, she commented on the. It's Jen. She commented on the toes? I can't remember what she said on the toes post. The Steven Tyler toes seems to be a pretty polarizing photo.
I don't see why.
Somebody guess Megan
Fox. She got fucked up thumbs, if I'm not mistaken.
I guess this is all some sort of ist.
Hold on.
Toeist. Thumbist. I'm not one to talk about fucking thumbs. I got toes on my hands.
How much time do we have to reach out to somebody? Because I have somebody I could reach out to, but who knows if he's.
I think we need to be done.
Back to me
we need to be done by 8 at the latest.
What time is it?
7:05.
7:05.
I can shoot him a text real quick and see what's up.
Chris, have you watched Mad Men? I know this just came up. I can't remember.
No, I haven't. But I keep thinking about it.
I don't know if you would love it, but I feel like you would.
Probably everyone I know
What's
that has similar
show
taste in
that you
shows.
love that might surprise me?
A show that I love that might surprise you. I mean, like Ted Lasso, but you haven't seen that.
It doesn't surprise. Everyone seems to love that.
It's great. I mean,
It's still going.
I think all the
still
shows
holding up.
they did 3 seasons, and it was the series finale. Just
wrapped,
aired a few months
wrapped
ago.
it up.
It's attractive
But
to me.
we're looking. Yeah.
John Mark, did you get back into Walking Dead? We're stalling right now, but we may as well fill with
I
some
haven't
content.
yet. No, there's just so many distractions,
Are any of the new ones on? Oh, I meant to bring this up the last time you brought up Walking Dead, Chris. Have you seen the spinoff, or are you aware of the spinoff? I feel like it's on Peacock, oddly enough, but I could be wrong.
Maggie and Negan.
No, it's the kids.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to tap into like a Stranger Things vibe, where it's like a Goonies-esque adventure of a bunch of kids traversing their way.
I've heard of that. Yeah, I've seen ads
It looks
for it.
fucking great, but I have not checked
Does it really?
out. Well, I mean, I only saw one little teaser, and the premise is great. I'm just judging by how they, the graphic design and the artwork. It seemed like they were trying to lean into something to sort of be like, this could be like a Stranger Things. But it's a great premise. Like a totally different, you could adding basically like a Monster Squad or the Goonies, all those kids' adventures, maybe even a little Stand By Me, but in like maybe an ultra-violent zombie apocalypse. Okay, Jen's out. She is at a bar. And everyone else I reached out to is out. John Mark, you got some feelers out?
Yeah, but I don't know what's going to happen. And yeah, I haven't had a chance to get back in The Walking Dead because the last few days, last couple of weeks, I've been have work from home days is when I usually would like kind of put something on the background, and I've just been watching like replays of the King Gizzard shows that I went to from the last tour they did.
I'm gonna try Lyle.
Hey, what's happening, Kevin?
Hey, where you at, buddy? What are you doing?
Not much.
Oh, you had any plans today or anything?
Any what?
Do you have any plans today or anything? Did you have anything on the schedule?
What, like a podcast? I don't know. Was there?
Yeah, man.
I didn't think we were doing it.
No, we were
I-
Are you available? You home?
Fucking hilarious.
I'm home, yeah.
How-
I didn't think we were doing a podcast today.
Oh yeah, we texted about it, buddy.
I didn't get a text. Or maybe I did and I didn't see it, right? I just knew you're going to Disneyland.
Oh yeah, we're
I can hop on. It's no big deal.
yeah, hop on, buddy. We're about to do our game.
Shit. All right.
See you in a minute.
That's good.
I was like, maybe we should just call him.
It's fucking funny. I would not have thought to call him.
He sounded so sprightly. I was like, oh,
Hey, what's going on, buddy? You getting your dick sucked, or?
All right, I'm gonna. He shows is in the room to me already. You guys don't see him here?
I don't see him.
See,
No.
there's weirdness
Weird.
in there, and there's weirdness in our text group.
Yeah.
All righty. Well,
I don't know why you guys didn't call earlier. I did get the text message, but I assumed we weren't doing it because Chris was going to Disneyland.
oh, that's end of the month. Yeah, sorry about that. We've literally just been rambling.
That's no big deal. I had to work today, so I've been like busy
Oh,
and bleeding. I'm bleeding all over the place.
no shit. Well, you're just in time to play a round of elimination.
Dude.
So, yeah. Well, glad everything's okay. We always worry when you don't show up. We assume that you fell asleep. You've done that before, but I don't know if you saw Christopher's teaser about what we're talking about tonight, Lyle. But I saw the teaser, and apparently we're talking about movie sequels for the round of elimination that he's given us. At first, I was like, I feel pretty confident about this, and then I was like, sure. Then I remembered literally every movie that's come out in the last 20 years are
Yes,
sequels, and I
that's-
have not seen many of them. So
That is where I am concerned for the roster because there are quite. This is a ranker list, so it's and even what's interesting. I think it just was published yesterday, and because it's evolving based off of people's votes apparently.
yeah,
Even today, between now and then, the list has changed. The number one spot has shifted, 1 and 2. So I was like, oh. So again, ranker list. So take that for what it is. But I do feel that they did a pretty good job here. Every one of these movies I would consider to be a great sequel. And again, a sequel, not again for the first time, a sequel will be the second movie in an installment. So there are lots of movies from trilogies and series, but we're talking about
just the second.
Just the second,
Okay,
not
that
a,
helps.
not. Yeah.
That
Well,
helps
I'm
me.
fucked because the last time I've been to the movie theater was with John Mark and Ron with The Living Dead.
Evil Dead, yeah. Okay, so how can you give us is it mostly newer
Shit, that
films?
was like 10 years ago, man. Fuck.
I know, dude. I don't
What's
get
your question, Ronster?
Are we talking mostly new films? Is it a pretty decent split of classics?
There's plenty of movies on here that you have seen.
Okay.
But
All right.
I will also say, here's a hint for y'all. There are a lot of sequels on here that come from a comic book movie.
Yeah, of course.
So, worth thinking of.
All right.
Ronster, since you have the disadvantage of the group, I believe, I'm going to say we're just going to go traditional order. Go ahead and start us off.
Well,
And again, I think of this, how does it go? It goes to, how far? 25, 31, 32, it goes quite a bit. So I think it's 40 or 50, and I'll just do, up to 50. I'll do reverse
all
points.
the way to 50. Okay.
Oh, maybe more. God, it just keeps going. Well,
Yeah,
okay,
you can
let's have
cut
some
it
fun.
off wherever you want. Keep it easy. But I have to go with what I consider to be the greatest sequel in film history, and that is Empire Strikes Back.
Number 2.
All right, that's probably
Number
as good as I'm
2.
going to get.
That
So
was
I'm glad that I
that's
got
the
to go
one.
first.
I'll
That's
give you
the one.
I'm going to give you 98 points for that. Excuse me, 99.
Ooh, interesting. Okay. Oh, we're doing all 100?
There's 100 on here, so we're just going,
All right.
and I can search it even.
Makes it sound you're glutton for the math.
One
All right.
time I was deleting them off my list, and it was reorganizing that. I
Yeah,
was
we
like,
got that
"Oh,
fixed,
no."
right?
Oh, that was funny. John Mark.
Man, there's two that I'm waffling back and forth between because they're both amazing sequels and amazing movies in their own right. But I'm going to have to follow my heart and go with my favorite of them and say Aliens.
Oh,
You know
great
what's on
guess.
here? Give me a sec.
Great
I know it's
guess.
pretty good. It's number 6.
Okay. Not bad.
I'm writing this down, actually. Give me 94 points for that, if my math is correct. I'm going to be doing quick math like that, so God help us all.
Mhm.
Lyle.
I'm going to go with Men in Black 2.
Let's see. I have to search for this one.
I can't honestly say if I've seen Men in Black 2. I probably have, but most of my Men in Black memories are of number 1.
Maybe it's MIB.
First one is great. That's a great movie. Great concept. Great film. Oh, shit. I'm not running a backup. Hopefully, we don't have any issues.
Men in Black 2 is number 51 on the list, Lau. It's going to give you 49 points.
Sounds good. Okay,
All right,
well,
Ron.
I got 2 more in my head that should definitely be on the list. I'm going to go with the one that I think is a bit more universal, and that is, of course, T2, Terminator 2.
Gosh, Ronster. Number 1.
Oh my
Oh,
God,
shit.
that was the second
Number-
one I was waffling between.
Number 1.
Number 1, okay.
You've got number 1 and number 2, so you're not doing bad at all.
Liking this
Lots
list
of
better
points
and
on the
better.
board here still, though. So we're
Christ,
100
I'm on
points,
the
Ron.
crutch.
All right, John Mark, what do you got for me?
Well, I don't know now. So I think it's the Dark Knight. That's the second Batman in the Christopher Nolan trilogy, right? The Dark Knight, right?
That's correct. You
Yeah,
can go with it.
I'm going with that one.
That's a good one.
Number 3.
Wow.
Number 3.
Nice.
We're 97 points.
I'm going to go with Mission Impossible 2.
You know what? That's an interesting That is the one I feel is the weakest of the series. But let's see. I can't. First search didn't find it. But I think
Was that the John Woo one, or is that
It
Mission
was,
Impossible 3?
yeah.
It was the John
yeah.
Woo one. Okay.
They all blur to me.
Mission Impossible 2 is on the list. Number 80, Lyle. Still getting points.
No whiffs yet.
Hey.
Easy to do when we're going to 100, I
I'm going
suppose.
to give you 20 points for that. Boom. Ronster.
Well, the only other one that this is more of my heart. It's got to be on the list, but I don't expect it to be too terribly high, but we'll get it out of the way, and that is Evil Dead 2.
Oh, let's see.
Bit of an odd one, I suppose. Pretty gnarly horror movie, but somewhere between remake and sequel.
And basically, it was a remake. Yeah, it's crazy.
But by the same people.
Yeah.
Like literally the same people. But
Oh, we got more money. Let's do that same movie again, but make it
but
better.
if I didn't get it out of the way, it was going to be in the back of my head. So even if it's not on the list, it had to be said.
Number 39.
It's one of the greatest sequels. I mean, if
Yeah,
you want
I
to
think
take
so.
the same concept and make it better and bigger, yeah, there you go. I'll take 39.
Number 39. Good for 61 points.
All right.
All right, John Mark.
Man. Gremlins 2.
Wow. Interesting poll. I mean, great movie.
Is
Let's
it?
see.
Is Gremlins 2 a good movie? I don't remember it being that
I
great.
liked it. Yeah, it was the one. It was the one where like
They're in the
Gizmo gets
city.
the just barely coming in. Number 95.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Yeah, The Matrix 2.
Oh, God, that was not a good movie.
Yeah, they got back.
I'm still in sequels.
Matrix 1 and Matrix
It's
3.
on here though, Lyle. It's on
Talk
here.
about it. Let's talk about sequels, because I can't say anything like Saving Private Ryan. No, because that's not a
Saving Private whom?
Saving Ryan Privates.
Private what?
You know what I'm saying? There's so many movies out there, right? But there's
Sure.
to have a sequel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I agree. The Matrix 2 sucked ass.
It suck ass, man.
It sucked.
But you never know what the pop
But it's a
culture,
sequel.
voting public.
It's on there though. Number 67. Going to give you
Hey, there
33
you go.
points.
I will take that.
You're all getting points every time. Nobody's whiffed yet.
Yeah.
I know.
Well,
It's all good.
we got 100 to choose from. Okay. Well, this is another polarizing one, but I think those of us from a certain age have a certain, let's see how many times I can say certain, love for it, and that is, of course, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Oh, certainly. Certainly.
Brought it home. I don't expect it to be too
Okay.
high, but it's got to be on there.
Hey. Oh, are you okay, dude?
I mean, it's one of the most famous film franchises, so I'd imagine.
Oh, yeah. Sure. I was
Pop
going to
up
say.
there.
Definitely on here. Number 25.
Okay.
I'm writing
We're
down
gonna
all
get
the guesses
interesting here now.
So that's worth 75 points, Ron. Not bad. John Mark.
So hard.
It's tough.
I'm not talking about my penis either. I'm talking about this game. It's
Not
really
yet.
Fucking game.
I'm gonna have to go with the Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead Part 2.
Dawn of the
Dawn
Dead.
of the Dead is number 57 on the list, worth 43 points.
I'm kind of proud of the list for having Dawn of the Dead right there in the middle. I think that's respectable
Yeah.
for. I mean, that is a gnarly fucking movie.
Mhm.
You
I'm
have
gonna go-
entrails being ripped about, son.
Falcor.
Never-ending story 2?
Falcor.
Has anyone seen Neverending Story
Oh, yeah.
too?
There is never.
I know. Well, there's 3 of them, I think.
Yeah.
Not on the list, sir.
a big-
Apologies.
It was terrible.
First whiff.
Oh, but you know what? This is a very polarizing film. Those who love it fucking love it, and that is Return to Oz.
I love that movie. Let's see if it's
Does
on
it
there.
have a golden road?
Oh, it does, but it's all grown over. That movie,
Oh,
if you
my
haven't
goodness.
seen Return of Oz,
It's a horror movie.
it is. But it's fucking. It stands on its own, but and everything, stylistically, everything is different. It's more like the books, but everything is different from the original movie, of course. But it is absolutely worth watching. And I'll be disappointed, but I won't be surprised if it's not on the list.
It is not on the list. I think that's a shame.
Yeah.
It's a great sequel.
It's a different thing, different kind of sequel.
Okay. John Mark, it's your turn to shine here. Pull ahead.
Getting some whiffs now.
Superman 2.
Ooh, let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Kneel before Zod.
Yeah. That was when I got... That first Superman was pretty boring to me as a kid. But Superman 2, Superman 3, I remember that shit.
Superman 2, number 29.
Nice. And when they got imprisoned in that like little glass pane or something floating out into space, that was so tormenting to me as a kid. It's like, well, what are they doing in there? Can they breathe? How can they fit? They're like pounding against it. Yeah.
I believe that might be the first comic book movie poll. Let's see.
The Batman.
Dark Knight, yeah.
Batman.
Yeah.
Well, I guess might as well go Iron Man 2.
Let's take a look.
Got to be getting into some of these.
Just dipping.
Iron Man 2, number 79.
That's better than 0.
Yeah.
Okay, let me think more. I'm going to start thinking more modern here. I know there's got to be some more classics on there, but I feel like we're probably getting a bit more modern. What was bigger and better and badder than the last? I'm tempted to go with my heart, but let's see. I'm going to try to go... fuck it, nothing's coming to me, so I guess I'm going to stick with my heart, and that would be Hot Shots Part 2.
Oh my god.
Which was bigger and better than the first one.
Nerd. You nerd. Let's see. It says nothing at first, but maybe Hot Shots is one word. Let me see.
Yeah.
No, I think that's a whiff, Ronster.
Mm-hmm. Fair.
John Mark.
Well, not in my book, but fair.
I mean, is Top Gun 2 on there?
Let's see. Top Gun Maverick right now.
Not a bad poll for the modern.
Yep, number 62.
Yeah. It wasn't a bad film. Yeah. I mean, it's like it hit all the right notes, you know? I was like actually surprised they pulled off what they did, to be honest.
Yeah, me too.
I have heard.
You still haven't watched it,
I have heard, no, but I've heard several people say that they might almost love it more than the original. That is hard to swallow for the Ronster, but I've heard people say it.
It's a better movie. I don't, like, nostalgia is a motherfucker, though. And when I'm not going to be nostalgic for Top Gun Maverick. I'm nostalgic for Top Gun.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it. Like, yeah. I've watched it twice, the new one, and I liked it both times. I don't know that I'll watch it a third time, but I might put Top Gun on for my kid at some point, you know?
Well, for some reason, that jogged a classic, nostalgic one for me, too.
Ooh,
but let's see if Lyle pulls it first.
Yeah, Lyle.
Bustin' makes me feel good.
Oh, good pull. Let's see.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, too.
That's another one I don't remember the sequel.
Oh, the sequel was great. It was the one with the big scary guy in the painting, right? I think this is criminal. But it's actually it's set at 100 exactly, Lyle.
Oh, wow.
Oh, well,
yeah, that's worth a one.
Yeah.
Nice.
Still no whiff, man.
Better than 0.
Bustin' makes you feel good, Lyle. Makes me feel good too, Bubba.
Bustin'.
This one's probably not on the list, but I'm going to try to really rack my brain when it's your guys' turn next to come up with some new ones. But one last nostalgia poll, which if it's on the list, I can't imagine it being too high. But I, as a kid, loved Karate Kid Part 2 even more than I loved the first one. I thought it was a good sequel.
Karate Kid Part 2 is definitely on the list here at number 58.
Well, that ain't bad. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
How about
makes me feel good.
Back to the Future 2?
Oh, what a good guess. Hold on, Mr.
What about that? But
scores down. Let's take a look. Back to the Future Part 2, number 17. That is worth points, baby.
That's good.
I think I need to go back and watch those because that was my favorite. Seen number 3, to be honest.
Oh, it was the Western one. It was okay.
Yeah,
I liked the Western one when I was a kid because you're seeing everyone's ancestors.
Yeah, that was funny.
It was fun.
Lyle.
Oh, you got me in the middle of something. Well, no, a buddy of mine's. Well, I'll tell you at the end. I know so many fucking movies. How about Desperado 2? No, I don't.
I was like, holy shit.
Dang it, was there one? How about the Avengers?
I just thought of one.
Avengers 2?
Uh-huh.
Let's take a look. Age of Ultron. Yeah, that's on there for sure. Let me write it down here. You get that's number 46. That's going to get you 54 points.
Very nice.
Well, I can't believe it's taken me this long to remember that what is often considered the greatest sequel of all time, and a sequel that is quite frequently deemed better of a film than the first one, which is a classic film, and that is The Godfather Part 2.
I was writing it down before you even said it. Number 5.
There we
Monster.
go. I'm back in it.
Oof,
I'm doing okay. There's some
this is
good
going to be
classics
tough.
up there.
The hell?
95 points.
I agree. I'm one of the many that agree. I think it's a better movie than the first one.
John Mark.
Kill Bill 2.
What a great guess. One of my favorite movies. I know it's on here. Let's see how far.
I prefer Part 1.
Volume number 23.
Not bad.
Oh.
Not bad at all.
97 points. Okay.
That's the
Nope,
only.
that's not right.
That's the only
70.
sequel he made, right? Tarantino.
I can't think of another one off the top of my head.
It's
I'd sure like to see
probably
him do a
not even
sequel.
really called a sequel. I mean,
they filmed it at the same time,
two
right?
Parts.
He just
yeah.
volume 1,
But-
volume 2.
But it's fair. Yeah, definitely the only sequel he's
crap.
done.
Oh crap! How about Dust Till Dawn too?
Is that a real movie?
I think
It's a real one. They had like 4 sequels, I think.
Yeah,
see.
they.
Nothing on
cool.
that one, buddy.
Dust Till Dawn. Bummer. What was the best scene in that movie?
The second one? I don't know. I don't think I saw it.
I don't even remember the second one.
Yeah, no, I have.
The first one's at that strip club where all the men are at the titty twister, right?
Yeah, the twitty.
That movie's surprisingly dark. Well, I mean, maybe not surprisingly, but dark in ways you wouldn't expect it to be dark.
There's a scene in that movie where a man drinks tequila off of Selma Hayek's feet when she's on stage, and of course he cast himself in that role.
I would too. Holy crap!
Quinn.
He was hot.
Always wore his heart on his soul.
He doesn't hide the fact, does he? Okay.
Hey,
Where are we at?
little fun fact. Fun fact.
Uh-huh.
The third version of that I think has Bon Jovi in it. He's a vampire hunter.
Ooh, that reminds me of another sequel. That I
Dust Till Dawn.
high on that list.
3, I think, or 4, one of the 2. That's just funny. Bon Jovi rocking it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Ronster.
Well, another sequel that is often deemed to be the best of the entire franchise is Blade 2.
Ooh, yeah.
No, you're wrong. Blade 2?
Mm-hmm.
Blade? Like the vampire hunting?
Yeah,
Wesley Snipes?
Wesley Snipes, yeah.
No. Blade 1 is the... Oh, you know what? I'm going to eat my own words here.
Yep.
It's on the list. Number 49.
Papa got a new bang. You know what I'm saying? Papa got a new bang.
Yeah, I hear people talking way more about Blade 2 than that's when it really got
I think
stylish.
Blade 1's a better movie. I think it's
Yeah,
a
might
way
be.
better movie.
Might be.
Wow. Who am I to say? Fuck it. I like Batman versus Superman. My taste goes right out the window. Give him a moment. Okay. John Mark.
How about Halloween 2?
Oh, there you go. Bigger and better.
Halloween 2. Number 92.
Wow.
You want to go to Spooktown?
Is that the original Halloween 2 or the Rob
Yeah,
Zombie
that could be the
Halloween
Rob
2?
Zombie one.
It's the original.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
8 points.
The zombie ones don't get much love.
For good reason.
Oh, but that reminds me of another one. Genre. Mm-hmm. A couple in the chamber, but I'm probably done with my big hitters.
I would think so by now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Oh, no,
Wow.
it's the first 10. That's no big deal. Let's see. I was going to go with horror. I was going to go with Freddy Krueger. So Nightmare on Elm Street too.
Let's see. Nightmare.
It's not on there, but it's fun to say. It's fun to watch. Good movie.
This is weird. That's a weird movie.
I got like the whole like a
They're
6-pack.
all pretty weird.
Yeah, but that one's
Yeah.
VHS. No, it was DVD. I had like the whole almost I don't know trilogy or something like that. I had like 5 of them of the movies in a pack. It was awesome. I'd sit there and rewatch those all the time.
Not on there, sir. Sorry, buddy.
I
That's
miss
cool.
DVD packs. Okay, well,
I
I'm
missed
gonna,
the bonus stuff on them.
yeah, we don't get that on the streaming services. I don't know
Not
why
very
none of
often,
them
yeah.
offer that.
Sometimes, like you can,
Yeah.
like the Game of Thrones stuff would have like behind the scenes, like
Yeah,
on
if it's
each
network
menu and
specific.
stuff.
Mhm. Well, I'm going to stick
Ronster.
with horror and another sequel that I don't think many people would argue is better than the original, and that is Devil's Rejects, sequel to House of a Thousand Corpses. Speaking of Rob Zombie. Might be a bit too genre-y for this list, but definitely a great fucking sequel. Best movie of the series.
It doesn't appear to be on there. Let me try one more search here. Sometimes the search isn't great. Nope, not on the list today. Okay. Good movie though. Scared me.
It is a good movie.
John Mark.
Yeah, it's too real.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a hard time with that film. I was like, man, this is something
gross.
Remember
when I got to meet Lou Temple, who got his face cut off in that movie?
I remember that. Yeah. He was in The Walking Dead too, right?
Taped it to his girlfriend's head, went running out, and got hit by the semi. Yeah, he was in The Walking Dead. He was, I don't remember his name, but he and the big black dude were prison mates at the prison.
Yeah, the guy that had the hammer. I remember Hammer Time. Yeah. Okay. Where are we at? Who was it? Is it
it's my turn. Oh man, I was thinking of one thing and then I suddenly thought of another. Star Trek II: Wrath of Khan.
That's great.
Infinitely better than the first Star Trek movie.
Let's see.
I miss those old ones.
Number 10.
There you go. Yeah, that's good.
Listen, John Mark is coming.
Nice one.
He has had more hits than you. You have had higher hits.
This could be interesting.
Very nice.
Let's see. So that's worth 10 plus 90 points right there. That's a big one.
You know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say, oh, Adrian!
Oh, Rocky 2. That's
I thought about that one.
Yeah.
Let's see. I know it's on here. It has to be.
Has to be.
Rocky 2. No, 15.
Finally.
Wait, where?
My microphone cord just popped out. Suspense. Rocky.
And that is worth
points.
How many points?
85 points.
Holy shit.
Yeah, 15.
Coming back.
Well, that reminded me of one Sylvester Stallone, so how could I not go with First Blood Part 2, Rambo?
Ooh.
I love that you know the fucking proper name. Rambo, First Blood Part 2, number 31.
Okay. I'll take that. I'm doing way better than I thought. This is a more meable list than I
was worried about it, but you've done great. There are so many in the top 20 that are like, let's see here. You guys haven't got, let me go. Oh shit, I gotta close out of Rambo. No. You got number 1, you got number 2, you got number 3. You don't have number 4. You got number 5. You don't have number 6, which I'm really surprised about. Let me just double check. Yeah, number 6 is a great sequel, one of my favorite sequels. Don't have number 7. Don't have number 8. Don't have number 9. And then the top from 10 to 11, there's quite a few left too.
It's anybody's game.
Again, think of my clue because there are still a bunch of those.
Your clue was that you liked them?
Don't tell anymore.
Comic book flicks.
Comic book
flicks. Yeah, of course. All right, whose turn? John Mark.
Okay, so that was Ronster. So John
my
Mark.
turn. So the comic book thing's in the back of my head, but I'm trying not to get too distracted by it because I know there's other shit. But at the same time, it's like I can only think of so many fucking sequels because brain mush. So yeah. Let's see. I was thinking of this film a little bit earlier, but I decided to go with something else. Can't remember if it was for the better or not. Probably was, but who knows? So I'm going to go with Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2. I need to be more specific.
Yeah, which one?
There are a few. The original one with Tobey Maguire.
The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Was that right? No, that's Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, I think it was just called Spider-Man.
Okay, yeah, you're right. It's called Spider-Man 2. My apologies. I wanted to clarify though, because that's important.
Yeah.
Number 11, sir. Again,
okay.
John Mark is he's making this interesting. It's worth 89 points, sir.
I'm not sure if this is cheating. But I looked
I pulled up Ranker.
I looked up the list.
No, I looked up your list.
And number 6 is.
You're so wrong. Mine was at least 10. No, what was funny, I was thinking in my head, I'm just spouting this out. I was thinking in my head, I go, what about Goonies? And I thought about Goonies 2.
There should have been a Goonies 2, but they didn't.
Made one?
No.
And I looked, dude, it's in the making.
Yeah, it's one of those that's been in the making for a while.
Yeah, it might be released in 2027.
It'll
Think
be
of that.
their kids.
It's like Beetlejuice too. That's filming right now. Finally.
Yeah,
finally
isn't that
filming.
cool? That's kind
I
of
have
fucking
a
cool.
well, not a friend, but someone I've known for years on social media, who is one of the not directors, but she's working on building the sets and stuff. So she's posting
Goonies?
shit on her, and the Beetlejuice sequel.
Oh, Beetlejuice is cool too.
And she's like, she's our age, so she grew up with it, and she's like, her mind is blown every day with what she's getting paid a good wage to work on, is making these Tim Burton things come to life in an artistic way. An amazing job.
Okay,
awesome.
I'm gonna go, even though that the second, I know the sequel is out, but it's not out in film. But I'm gonna go with the second Avatar.
Interesting guess.
That's a
Let's
good
see.
guess. I've heard that's better than the first one, which I hated. The first
It's not on the list.
Well, it's probably too new. Maybe.
Ronster.
Well, how about, I'm just going to start like naming shit. How about X-Men 2?
Ooh, okay, let's see. I like the, see, I think it's spelled with a dash too, so it makes it all fucking hard. Absolutely. Again, there will be a need for.
I can only say the original franchise. I'll go with that.
X-Men 2 original franchise, definitely on the list. Number 21.
Okay.
That's still quite a bit of points. It's worth 79 points. God, I'm fucking awful at math, but I'm doing all right. Okay, John Mark.
I'm at the point where I'm just like trying to think of sequels and trying to think of like if they even count as like, just because they're a sequel, are they going to be on the list or not? It's like, is this a good movie? I can't remember. I don't know. Did I see it?
Yeah.
Chris has made it sound like there's some pretty obvious ones still on there that all of us.
I'm sure there are, but okay. I'm just thinking. Fuck. There's a whole bunch of shit swirling around in my head right now. Sequels to fuck, I don't know. Deadpool 2.
Great guess.
Oh, that's a good guess.
Deadpool.
I forgot about those movies. Those are great.
They're
fun.
That actually was my very first gonna be guess.
Well, you should have went with this, sir, because it was number fucking 8.
What?
Ooh,
seriously?
Yeah. Deadpool 2 was celebrated. People love that movie.
Such a good movie, dude. It's so funny.
92 points.
Mm.
I don't know who's winning this anymore.
Boy, yeah, I'm not
I just
feeling
don't know.
so good.
So in that spirit, let's go. What you gonna do about it, bub? And go with Wolverine 2.
What's that movie called?
I know the first one, and there was
Logan?
the second one.
Was that the...
Babysitting that kid.
There's so many reboots of this franchise.
There was Logan, right?
I guess it was Logan.
Was that the reboot or was that a sequel?
Well, see,
Logan would be the sequel.
The problem is that what's Wolverine's first movie, because he's in what, X-Men, right? And then all the X-Men movies.
I think it would be the first one that was devoted solely to that character, right? Wasn't there one called The Wolverine?
I feel like
there was one called The Wolverine.
That's what I'm talking about. And the sequel to that would be Logan.
All right, well, I think that's fair. Let's go. Do you want to do Logan or The Wolverine then?
I guess Logan, dude. Because, I mean, that's how it went.
Let me see if it's on here.
That was the sequel to The Wolverine. So.
Logan is not on here, but I'm going to give you The Wolverine because it is.
All right.
Which is 53 number 53. So it's worth 47 points.
So is that considered a sequel to the X-Men then somehow, or?
Yes, I don't really know how you would.
It's probably a spin-off, and then that's the second one of the spin-off. That would be a sequel. That's fair.
Yeah. Right? Okay. How about 2 more rounds each?
Sure.
Did someone say Iron Man 2?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I probably shouldn't. They're not all comic book movies from here on out, yeah?
There's a lot of them.
Should I be thinking? I should be thinking about comic books.
There's a lot of them, but there's also in the top 10 there are 3 we haven't got. One is a comic book movie.
I didn't see it. Oh wait, is that a sequel? No, I better not say that. I don't know if that's a sequel.
I bet, yeah. I know one.
Fuck. I think I'm just gonna have to go with something.
Oh God, I know a few.
Let me think for just a sec. I won't take too much time, but I can't even think of the modern fucking. Someone say Guardian of the Galaxies too.
Let's see. That's a great guess.
That's not a bad guess.
That's one.
Guardians. Come on. Guardians.
Yeah, I flubbed
Guardians
it too.
of the Galaxy Volume 2, number 22 on the list.
Okay. Yeah, I have no idea where we're at score-wise.
It's gonna be fucking interesting. Okay, John Mark.
I can't remember I honestly can't remember the name of it, but it was like the second Batman movie Tim Burton did. Was it Batman 2? Or was it the
Batman Returns?
Batman Returns.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Batman Returns.
Thought
Is that
about
what you want to
that.
go with?
Yeah, the second Tim Burton Batman movie.
Number 27.
Higher than I would have guessed. It was on my head, but almost no one talks about it. And it was such a hard act to follow.
Oh, it was so long ago, and there have been so many Batman movies since then, so it's like...
Probably the greatest Catwoman we've ever got.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Michelle Pfeiffer was fucking amazing.
Did you see that clip of her, actually,
yes, with
whipping
the
those
whip.
heads off?
It was
Holy
dope.
shit, dude.
Hot.
She's pretty hot, but she's also crazy. That's what made her so hot. That she was crazy. Because Selma Hayek, Selma, God.
Here we are, Selma Hayek. We're stuck on Selma Hayek, aren't we?
No. Haley Bailey or what? What's
Halle Berry.
Halle Berry did really good, but she didn't have the crazy.
That movie was garbage.
So bad.
She did a good Batman or bad.
I bet she did a good Batman.
She's a good gym thief, but she wasn't.
I thought that Zoe Kravitz in the most recent Batman was a great Catwoman as well. And I also liked Anne Hathaway as Catwoman. She's sexy as hell. Come on.
I can't even remember which one of these I've seen, and just
I know, me too.
ones that I'm aware of.
Hey, just remember, Arnold Schwarzenegger was Mr. Freeze.
Chill out.
Chill out. Okay, I'm gonna go with one of my favorite.
Nice to meet you.
Favorite franchises where it goes. God damn it, Riggs. Too old for this shit.
Oh, yeah.
Lethal Weapon 2, baby.
That's a great
guess.
Yeah, I
Lethal
love
Weapon 2, number 16 on the list, Lyle.
Yes. I'm back.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to do one more round here, see how we stacked up.
I am so spacing on new shit, so I'm going to go with what was going to be one of my earlier guesses. But I don't think people consider it better than... I guess they don't necessarily need to consider it better than the first one. Just a good sequel. But I did not love part 2, but I'm going to go with part 2 of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, which I think was the Two Towers. Whatever
Twin
part
Towers.
2 was. Lord of the Rings.
Twin Towers.
Smart.
Hey,
Very
you're talking
smart
about
move.
9/11. Stop it.
Very smart move because it's number 7.
Very good.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah, no, I like that film.
Great.
I liked them all. They were just kind of real slow.
I thought the first one was so good that the second and third were... Yeah, I thought the second one was the slowest one. Was that the one with Treebeard and they're... It just seemed like they're forever in the
it's the one where they
forest.
have that giant fight at the end at the castle in the dark, and it's amazing.
so
Look
all
to
of
the
them-
east.
So all of them then?
On the dawning of the seventh day. Look to the east.
Yeah, I'm due for a rewatching of the Lord of the Rings
Whatever it was,
trilogy.
fourth day, third
That
day,
shit
seventh
started in the
fucking
90s. It blows
Someday.
my mind that that's how old them shits is.
I don't think I watched The Hobbit yet.
Oh, those are terrible. Don't watch them.
That's what I kind of thought.
They're all right. They're not
They're
great.
all right, but adjust your expectations.
They're not
It should have,
good, but
it
they're
should have
not
been one
bigger.
3-hour movie, and it could have been great.
There's some shit in those
100%
Hobbit
agree.
movies where you just you laugh out loud. And you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I don't
You're just
disagree with
like-
you. Yeah.
Watch the Rankin Bass animated version from the 70s. It's the perfect movie version of The Hobbit. It has everything you need.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
John Mark, what do you got for me? Last guess.
Well, I've been struggling, and then
I don't
when
think you have.
Lyle said
Lethal Weapon.
Lethal Weapon 2, I was like, oh, Mel Gibson. I was like, holy shit, The Road Warrior.
Oh,
there
that's a
you go.
good one. Mad Max.
One of the best fucking sequels of all time.
So good that most people don't even know there was a Mad Max before that.
Right.
It's
They
true.
thought
yeah.
Road Warrior was first, and the
Was
Beyond
Road Warrior
Thunderdome
the
was
one
the
where
sequel.
his wife dies, or
That's
was
the
that
first
That's
one.
the first
Mad
one.
Max.
No, okay. That's number 18 on the list. Good guess.
Okay.
Another excellent guess.
I think it's gonna be
82
close.
points.
I guess this ends with me.
Yep.
Yeah, you
I'm
need
gonna
a
go
big
with the most amazing Christmas movie ever, and go. Come out to the coast. We get together, have a few laughs.
Oh shit! How the fuck did no one say Die Hard 2 first?
I are too, baby.
I was
Definitely
thinking
on
of
the
it, but
list.
I just didn't think that it was like.
Oh,
Was
wait.
it that well received? Or
Oh no, I'm thinking that's Die Hard is the first, is the one
Die
that
Hard
you're
is
quoting.
the one at Christmas, yeah.
Yeah, Die Hard 2.
I too.
Okay.
So the snow and the plane.
Yeah.
The airport one.
Brother, wasn't it? Not Hans, but his brother.
No, that was the third one. That was,
okay.
Die Hard Revenge, which is arguably the best movie of the three, even though I love Die Hard 1.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well done, sir, for 37 points. Let's take a quick break. I got to
alright.
get the kid a popsicle and
Yeah,
do
I
some
gotta
quick
pee.
math, and then cool.
Before we get the results here, real quick, pick your number one video game sequel. For me, it's probably Super Mario Brothers 2. I mean, I'm stuck back in the 80s.
It's
but
such a great game.
it's a great game. I know it's a strange, it's not even technically a sequel, but they made it a sequel, and that was our experience for Super Mario Brothers 2. John
if
Mark?
I was okay, so if I was going to say video game sequel, man, there's so many, but like, for me, I would have to say one of the a video game sequel that had probably the biggest effect on me would be Doom 2.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Great.
Too much.
Yeah.
I even played
go
that.
ahead,
I
Mel.
played up to Doom 3.
Fuck. I'm in between like Castlevania.
Oh,
And-
Castlevania 2? Really?
Well, Castlevania, but I lean more with the like Resident Evil series. I
Resident
love-
Evil 2 was fucking
great game.
amazing.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
That's pretty
Dude,
good.
I love fucking Resident Evil. I still love Resident Evil. I have every one of them downloaded on Steam.
Very unique and polarizing game and
Well,
gameplay.
dude, they went through and remade 1 and 2, right?
Mhm.
No, 2 and 3.
I know they remade 4 as well.
Oh yeah, and then 4.
Chris, I got a feeling where you're going to go with this, but
You're wrong. You might be right.
You're on one.
I do think I might go BioShock, but I love
I'd
all
say
those
Left
games.
4
but
Dead.
choose- Left 4 Dead? No, I don't. The game's all right.
It's a-
If I was gonna say game, I'd put the most hours into. It'd be Diablo 2, which is a fucking phenomenal game.
What about Gears of War?
Gears of War 2 is great game too. I'd put that high, but I think my favorite sequel of all time is The Last of Us 2.
that's what I meant to fucking say.
Yeah,
Last
that
of
is
Us
a man. Ron, did you ever watch the show? I can't remember.
No,
In the movie.
that's the one I was trying to pull out because that's the one you desperately wanted me
the
to
show's amazing. But
watch
the
you play.
second season, the
Just got
second
the
game
wrong.
on that, and I know John Mark hasn't played it either. It fucked me up. I had to write like a 20-page dissertation on my feelings, and this was like 3 years ago. I wasn't a child. This was like 2 years ago. I played it two times through, and it is an experience unlike anything other.
It's pretty emotional. It's
Yeah,
Well, dude,
I sobbed during it. I openly was crying. I was like,
Yeah, I remember
not
you talking about it. Yeah.
dude, I'm going to confess something to you, and I don't think I've ever told anybody this.
Mhm.
But at the end of BioShock Infinite, I was teared up.
Yeah, it was a sad.
I didn't know. I didn't know what Elizabeth was,
Yeah,
and then to find out she was.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Spoilers.
Well,
Jesus Christ, man.
there's ultimate universe, so it doesn't matter,
Went right into it, huh?
because
Okay,
I guess I won't play it.
I got to get this kid to bed, so I want to blaze through these guys here.
Yeah, let's do it.
Well, first of all, I'm going to read the top 20 to you guys.
All right.
At number 20, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
Oh, of
Boo.
course.
Oh, okay.
Of course.
Number 19, The Bourne Supremacy.
there you go.
Yeah.
Number 18 was Mad Max.
Yeah.
Number 17 was Back to the Future. Number 16 was Lethal Weapon 2. Number 15 was Rocky 2. Number 14 was Shrek 2.
Ah,
Okay.
Oh, yeah. It's a good sequel.
Number 13 was John Wick Chapter 2.
Oh, okay.
Went
That's
out
the
of
one
the
I
loop
meant.
on that.
Yeah, oh, they're great.
Yeah,
Number
I've
12 was X-Men Days of Future Past, the prequel, second one in the prequel series, which was great.
heard. Okay.
Number 11 was Spider-Man 2. Number 10 was Star Trek 2. Number 9 was Toy Story 2.
That was on my list at one point.
Number 8 was Deadpool 2. Number 7 was Lord of the Rings 2.
We did
Number
pretty good.
6, which I'm highly disappointed in y'all, was Aliens.
No, I said that.
John Mark said that.
Did? Oh, I apologize. You did. I marked your points down. I just forgot you got it. God damn, that was one of my favorite. And the only other one you guys didn't get then was Godfather 2 was number 5. Number 4 was Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
Number 4. Okay.
It's a great movie.
I didn't see any of the Captain
adult
Americas.
Marvel movie. Number 3 was Dark Knight. Number 2 was Star Wars, and number 1 was Terminator 2.
We did pretty damn good.
You guys did great, and let me tell you, it was. I did not imagine it was this. I was worried we were going to end in a tie. It was that close.
Wow.
Lyle had 431 points. Ronster had 842 points, and Lyle had 889 points.
Oh, you
Excuse me,
mean
John Mark.
Oh, you meant
How many did I have?
Yeah. 842 versus John Mark's 889.
Damn, son.
Wow, I won?
Yeah, you did. You had so many hits. Like you.
Of course you won, because I was playing. The one time you decided to show up for elimination.
That was fun.
Can't have it. It was fun. I miss playing it. It's fun to put on the game, but I think it's funner to play. Haven't done it in a while. Well, that was fun. That's your show for the week. It is what it is. I think we covered a lot of ground. I'd say tune in next week, but I think this is probably going to be it until August. I got an art fair this weekend, tons of events to cover, and then full-on Comet Week. Christopher will be in Disneyland. I hope to get a full report on that. Do be sure to, when you get back in your hotel room each night, just pick up that phone and give a little audio journal for us. Maybe we can stitch that all together on the podcast. And
I'll go get some EVPs for you, Ron.
Day 1, help! Yeah, get a good EVP. Don't break the bed. Unless you want to break the bed. No. All right.
Well, isn't it like a secret club for Disneyland? There's like a secret club that you pay extra money and go to like secret hotels and secret like venues.
There is some bar like special lounge you can get access to if you're like I don't know, somewhere,
or something like. Member Club 76.
Yeah.
It is true that in the Cinderella's castle, one of the windows, I think it's Cinderella's castle, one of the windows you see is a look into Walt Disney's secret, not so secret at the time even, private apartment that he would sometimes stay in. At least that's what I always read.
So can I talk about something real quick? What I was busy with when I got interrupted, by the thing.
Sure. Chris, if you got to check out, go take care of the kid. Go ahead.
I do, yeah.
All right.
Night, guys.
Next.
Bye.
Quick. Bye, Chris. A buddy of mine, unfortunately, his mother she's on the East Coast. She was staying in a friend's condo, and the condo itself, she was living like I guess pretty much free in one side of it. Her best friend, since like I don't know, like for a long time, owned it. She was living the other side. Well, it burned down like 2 days ago, and she was able to grab basically her glasses from her nightstand, and walked out in her robe. Why the place had everything she ever owned burned to the ground, and there's a GoFundMe out there for her. I'd like to put it on our on the tag of this episode when it comes out. If you would, I'll send you.
I'll put it in the comments.
And anything would help. It's all done through. Like it's a legitimate PayPal thing.
Yeah.
But
go
she's
find
in
it.
Yeah, she's definitely needing some help. So
for sure. Yeah, if everyone listening would go to our Facebook page, and click. Well, I'll put that in the comments. Facebook is weird about putting those kinds of links. They'll sometimes hide the post, but go find the post. I'll put it in the comments, and if you can throw a few bucks, everyone listening, that'll be a chunk of dough.
Yeah, and I'll send it to you, Ron, personally, so you know where to plug it. When you post the episode. So
that's a worthy cause.
Yeah, unfortunately, times And
Jesus, the thought of losing everything is hard to grasp.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just scary too. Yeah. He found her cat. Yeah, the only thing in the world she had with her was a cat.
I was afraid to ask about pets.
today. She found the cat, and the cat, I guess, the face is kind of a little bit messed up, but
Worse
it's
for wear, but around.
yeah. But
Yeah.
she seems like it's okay.
Good.
Oh.
All right. Well, we're going to have to take that as the positive of the story. And on that note, tune in next time. We'll be talking about 9/11.
Twin Towers.
Until then, have yourself a good week or 2 or 3. We'll see you
Maybe
when
4.
we see you. Bye.
Bye.
Good night.
And it's an actor dressed as Doctor Strange. It's pretty good, but it doesn't look like Doctor Strange.
Right.
And he goes, "Daddy, what's wrong with this face?"
Doctor is
Oh, man,
strange. It's Doctor
Yeah.
Stranger. Never talk to
Yeah.
Doctor Stranger.
Doctor Stranger.